Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 154. Today's date is August 21st, 2022. I looked at the date and I was like, wait, is 8 August or July? I am Duds, or Juds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Not a lot. I've been having to take a break from Minecraft. I say that, and I have several things listed down, but I've been so tired from work, it's really hard to pull myself together to make content. So I've been kind of taking a couple days off after I had my last episode go out. Some things I have been doing, though, is I was working on a new skin. I've been doing that off and on for like the last week or so. Just tweaking colors and textures and stuff. I did a little bit of single player world. That's my chill Minecraft zone. I'm not making any content on it or anything. I'm just kind of playing. And that's been kind of fun. No big builds or anything like that. Just maintenance. I did a bit of base layout for my Channel 64 base. That's going to be a big project before I get to do any fun stuff. And I think that's what's kind of hurting my motivation. Is I know I have a giant dig ahead of me, and I need to get the measurements correct for the dig, or else it's just going to be a ton of work, so...
Don't want to overdig.
Right, you don't want to overdig, and then you don't want to underdig.
Mm-hmm. You want to just dig.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do a circular, there we go, room, or a squared room, and that's what I need to figure out now, but... Yeah, we talked about this because we had stream day this past weekend, and me, you, and Loki, we cleared out a good part of the forest in front of my base. And basically, the front of my base has to line up with the front door of my base, which then has to line up with the center of my storage room. So it's just a lot of stuff kind of stacked on top of each other that I need to kind of work out before I can really dive into any kind of building, which... means Duds has just been like, I'm not up to that. I'm just taking a break.
Yeah, not a bad thing.
No, I don't think so. What about you? What have you been up to?
Well, today I actually released an episode, actually like a few hours ago.
I know, I watched it before we started recording.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few people commenting, got some views on there. People are pretty happy about it. They're happy, I'm happy.
It's a very good episode.
Well, thank you. Put some time into it, like literally. It's been a month. Yeah, I usually be like once a week or once every other week. Yeah, can't do that. Not as of right now. Especially with the way I'm trying to edit and try to like tell a story the whole time. So just bits and pieces and different, like I had a skit in there at the beginning. It was kind of part of the story. Me and Arrington sat down and kind of discussed how we're going to, kind of correlate our storylines a little bit because they're pretty similar. And that was a good way. The very opening of my video explains it. Besides that, I've been helping Mrs. Slice with editing. She's been making a bunch of quick, I could say like TikTok about like her nails. She does, loves to do nails. And, just little cuts and little pieces of her doing her nails. And they're like 30 seconds, but she does it on Instagram. And she's really enjoying that. And I did her first one with her, and I was showing her how to use my editing program. Well, she kind of got the hang of it. She knows how to like get things where they need to be and kind of following the beat and everything. I don't know what parts she wants to use for her videos, so she does that part. She puts her pieces in there, and I got to go back through and like polish it up for her. But she's starting to get the hang of it. It's pretty cool that she's getting into a similar niche with me, and it's, I don't know, gave us something to talk about, and kind of we both have experience with it now.
Yeah, she's kind of getting interested in stuff you've been interested in, so that makes it a little bit easier on you.
Right.
But at the same time, your editing time is now being used to edit her stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, I have a video I need to edit. She's like, just help me real quick. I'm like, okay. But, and then I don't know about you, but when I edit, I don't try to give it half effort. I try to give it full effort. Like, if this looks off, I'm going to fix it the best I can. I'm going to make this transition look the best I can, before I'm done with it. So I sit down, I'm like doing this 30-second video. I'm there for like an hour, doing like zooms and different transitions for her while showing her how to do it. Yeah. I can't help but go through and just polish it up after she's done.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. I use HitFilm, actually, my editing software.
When I first started, I didn't know a lot of programs, so I paid for Sony Movie Studio Platinum, and I've never been able to bring myself to get off of that because I paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
I have definitely gotten my money's worth out of it, but yeah, I still can't bring myself to like use DaVinci Resolve or anything like that.
Yeah, it's hard to transition to another one. What's funny is on Black Friday, it was one of our server members from the Ripple Effect. They messaged me and asked if I enjoyed HitFilm. I'm like, yeah, that's it. Editing software I use. I use the Express version. And they were like, oh, well, HitFilm Pro is available on Black Friday for $40.
Mm-hmm.
It's a $400 program. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get it.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to use more. Didn't just come with HitFilm Pro, it came with like a bunch of different editing programs. And I was like, holy crap. Well, it turns out HitFilm moved on from HitFilm Express and Pro, and it is now they have a new software called HitFilm.
Okay.
And you can upgrade it to like the Pro version, the Creator version, and you're paying monthly now. But I still have HitFilm Pro 16,
mm-hmm.
and it has pretty much everything on there. And I can't move on with it because I paid for it. Same thing you're doing. Same issue you're having.
Yeah. It's hard whenever you put money down. Like, I was sitting there and I was thinking, like, is it mic upgrade time, anything like that? And then it's like, no, my setup works right now. Not changing anything. The only thing I would change is my Xbox controller, because it is 4 years old, because I was using it to play Xbox before I started playing Minecraft with it. And now the buttons are starting to wear and tear. They're not exactly clicking every single time like they should, and they're getting really loud. So, yeah, that might be the only thing I upgrade, because everything else I'm just like, nope, it works. I paid for it. It's done. I'm in that kind of mode now.
Yeah.
Except for my case fans and my computer. That being said, I have all the new case fans sitting on my nightstand behind me, and I'm just waiting for Labor Day weekend to install them. I need an extra long weekend in case, well, I know my microphone sound's going to get messed up somehow, because it always does, and I need that extra long weekend to get it fixed.
Yeah, it's amazing how the littlest thing, when you mess with your mic,
Yep.
how it just throws it way off.
I know.
Like, way off. It's hard to get a perfect sound with a mic.
It's the worst thing in the world.
I still can't say if mine is like right where I want it to be. I mean, I can doctor it up to where it's pretty good, but I would still like to mess with it. But do I want to mess with it? Probably not a good idea.
The only way I think I could make mine any better is if I literally moved rooms. I wasn't thinking when I moved into this house and I decided, well, this room will be my office because it's got hardwood floors in it. It's one of the only rooms that has hardwood floors. No carpet. Really should have had carpet in here to help dampen some of the sound. Oh well. Got a couple rugs. They're not great, but they help a little bit.
Yeah. Rugs, carpet, panels, sound panels.
I do have sound panels.
Oh, that helps.
I don't have... My sound panels aren't just foam stuck to the wall. They're actually like wooden built boxes. So they're very nice sound panels that I made myself with my dad. And they work really well. Like, you should hear this room without them. But at the same time, my whole floor just kind of ruins it. Anyways, should we hop into some news?
Sure. I think there's a little bit.
It's all Bedrock, baby. All Bedrock news. There's a lot of parody.
Oh, let's skip it. I'm just kidding, Bedrock players. I'm just kidding.
Well, there's things that I can't believe that Bedrock has happening still. Well, the big thing is they're finally getting Spectator Mode, which is great.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I know they are just now getting it.
That's a big thing. It's been in the works for a little while, but they've got more Spectator Modes coming. It's still in the experimental stage, but some of the stuff I didn't, like oak and mangrove fence gates, weren't flammable before, but now they are.
There has to be an accident.
It has to be an accident. Allays and bees getting stuck on lanterns.
On lanterns?
Yeah. How about we fix axolotls getting stuck on walls? Because that's still a thing happening today.
Yeah, I haven't tried it.
Yeah, they don't list that as a bug. It is. If an axolotl swims into a waterlogged wall, it will not come off that wall.
Huh.
I've never had one come loose. I always have to jump down there and push it.
Have to make an axolotl tank.
And then we move to Twitter. One of the devs is saying that starting in September, they will be removing inactive players from preview on iOS.
Ooh.
Basically to make room for new active players. And they want you to build something at least once a month to not be removed.
What up with that? That's kind of strange.
It says they're limited to 10,000 players.
On iOS?
iOS preview, not Minecraft in general.
Yeah, I was going to say, well.
I guess that's like the beta version. Instead of having snapshots, they have betas and previews.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But anyways, you have that to look out for if you want to be a part of that process. Go build something, because they're getting ready to kick you.
Right.
This is so weird.
It is a weird thing.
I was at a tire place, and I was sitting there, and I saw this kid playing Minecraft on their iPhone. The thing is, they couldn't be more than 9 years old. I was like, one, why does that kid have a cell phone? Two, watching them play Minecraft on an iPhone was like the hardest thing I had ever witnessed. It's so, you can tell the kid knew what they were doing. The building wasn't like, we're not talking like mega base, so, but it was a good build. They knew what they were doing, but the movement and everything was just so clunky.
Yep.
Using your thumbs, sometimes they would hit a button that wasn't really there, and it's just, I'm like looking over this kid's shoulder. I'm sure the dad was like, stop staring at my kid. They're staring at Minecraft. Those who play on cell phones, I don't know how you do it. You guys, crazy good, because I would lose my mind.
Like, I have it on my phone, but I enjoy survival. And you can't survive. You just can't do it. Like, I go in the nether, and I'm dead. You know, I'm not making it out.
So it's not that you can't play survival, it's just that it's so much harder for you, you die.
Yeah, like, you gotta go to the nether eventually. If you want to make it to the end, you know, for the end game, I'll never beat the dragon. I don't know why I'm even talking about this. But yeah, to get through the nether is almost impossible. If a ghast sees you, you're done. You're done for. Good luck blocking that. What's funny is my youngest, who's 7, he's playing Minecraft like every day now on his computer.
Yeah.
We got him a small computer, gaming computer. Nothing too beefy or anything, but, you know, plays pretty much any game. And he's been playing Minecraft a lot. He's been showing me all those things. Look, Dad, I got a house. You know, it's like a square wooden box.
You're right.
And I'm like, cool, man. Yeah. And he's always like asking me things and wanting to know all this stuff. Yet he won't go chop wood. I'm like, dude, go get wood. He don't have any tools. He's running around with like an apple, you know, some seeds. I'm like, dude, go get, you need wood.
Go punch a tree.
Wood is your most important research source, at least at the beginning. Go get wood, get your tools, then go get stone, get better tools. I was like, get your tools, but get wood first. And I looked on the computer today because he leaves it up. He'll stay in his little Minecraft house and go sleep. And, you know, there'd be mobs all around him and stuff. But that's how he does it. And I noticed in his inventory he had all wooden tools and stuff. I'm like, nice. You know, nice. Moving on.
Moving on up.
I like to play with them. You know, maybe a server we could play on eventually. But it's cool to see him progress through it. Not on a cell phone. You know, that would be way too difficult.
Yeah. That's kind of all the news we have this week. There was like no news for Java or any of that stuff. I didn't even really find any new Legends stuff. So yeah. I know there's some people in the Discord asking for our thoughts on Legends. Carl posted there were episodes we talked about it. Again, I haven't seen anything new, so my opinion hasn't changed. If you want to go back to those episodes, World Carl, yeah, it was episode 147 and 151.
Wait, wasn't there in October? We got news that in October, at least the 27th, October 27th, 2022, at 12 p.m. at least Eastern U.S. time, Minecraft Now is scheduled.
What? When did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. But Minecraft Now is not Minecraft Live.
Yeah, it's Minecraft Now. But the fact that it's 2 months scheduled ahead of time, it's got to be something big, right? Or what is it? Watch the Minecraft Now live stream.
You think they're substituting? Nah, I don't think it's anything more than that they do now. They do more highly edited videos. They already have August down as a scheduled for the 25th.
Yeah, it seems like there's a bunch of hosts that are joining to play Minecraft in the stream.
I'm glad you said this because you are correct in the fact that it's scheduled for October. So they're skipping September.
Mm-hmm.
You know what usually happens in September? Minecraft Live.
Yeah, I was going to say some kind of release.
It's usually Minecraft. It's usually like the first weekend in September, but we also usually know by now when it's going to happen. So, shouldn't say first weekend, pretty close.
We actually, on Spotify, we asked the audience what date they thought Minecraft Live would be this year, and we actually have results.
Yeah? What was the top pick?
The top pick with 32% of the votes is October 15th. So, at least our Spotify listeners. Close second was October 8th and October 1st.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be somewhere in October, and I'm thinking later October, but these are pretty good guesses. Obviously, September 22nd, I think that's less than a month, well, almost exactly a month away. That's a bit soon.
Yeah, you think if the developers are involved in the Minecraft Now, October 27th, if they would try to release anything before that date, they would probably get a lot of questions about that in particular subject when, I don't know, like they're going to get a lot of questions that they probably don't want to answer right away. Or, I don't know, maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want the community's feedback.
Well, I don't think they're going to show anything important. They've never shown anything important in Minecraft Now, except for stuff we're not getting.
No, I meant have, like we said, Minecraft Live before Minecraft Live, or Minecraft Now.
Well, it's a scheduled video, which means the video is already made. So they can't answer, they can't answer questions that we have for that video.
Right.
I don't know. I would like to know when live is going to happen, when the update's happening.
Yeah.
Me and you were talking about this earlier. The amount of topics and Minecraft things to speak on in general has just slowly just gone down and down and down. It used to be every week we'd have something new pop up and we could easily talk about it. But now it doesn't feel like that anymore. It really does feel like this is a dredging time for this game. And you're just kind of carrying on. I mean, I found that I'm getting bored a lot of the times.
Yeah, I don't watch too much Minecraft content anymore.
I really don't either. It's other than our smaller groups of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I can think of about 2 months ago, I was searching for new content because it's just so boring. Some of the other stuff, all the big stuff that I'm seeing now is like stuff I've already seen 1,000 times. So I'm just like,
Right.
But then again, I don't think my content's changed that much either over the years I've been doing it. I make the content I want to make and I go with it. So I can't say much. But we do have some listener comments. This one's from 4321 Boone. If you guys could add anything you wanted to paintings, like something like custom ones, or maybe more of an... Hang on, I cannot read tonight. Something like custom ones, or maybe just more of them, what would it be? I want a brewing chart.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah. Brewing chart seems to make the most sense. A librarian or even a villager trade chart would be nice. Something that can tell you about locations, like the fact that you can find gilded blackstone in a bastion could be cool. Or how to respawn the dragon to fight it.
Yeah.
I hear more and more about people who don't play video games trying Minecraft, and they enjoy the game, but it's frustrating in the fact that they still have no clue what to do most of the time. Like, your son's running around with no tools.
Mm-hmm. He should know better.
You had to say, make wooden tools.
Mm-hmm. No one should be told to get wood.
Right.
While playing Minecraft. Just be it's a given.
Yeah, and I get advancements are kind of supposed to help with that and stuff, but it's not intuitive to go look for that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, as a painting, I think they can make it something else, make its own little thing, not so much a painting, kind of like how banners are.
Mm-hmm.
How you get a banner pattern and maybe some other pattern. Maybe you can put it on a painting or you can put it on a item frame, that shows you a certain recipe that you may need. Or like you said, a trade or something like that.
That could be cool.
Paintings. I'm trying to think of, it'd be nice to have custom paintings, make them yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why you can't. The only way to do that now is to make a map, which takes a lot of time. You can get real detailed with it, but yeah, it takes a lot of time. It's only one size.
Yeah, we had something like that with Ripple Effect Season 4 and data packs and Winter and Carl making them, and they're gorgeous. Like, they're so much cooler than anything else in the game.
Yeah, like they said, even maybe just more of them. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Give us more types of paintings. And they're all kind of, I don't know, old school. There's no like modern type of painting. Be nice to see.
There are the 3 new paintings, and I can't remember if they're a Bedrock only thing. I know they're not in survival.
I'm trying to think of what they are.
They're like elemental paintings.
I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't got to see them in the game.
I have not either. But then again, I haven't gone looking for them. Now, if you had a data pack that allow you to access those paintings and you could use those paintings as customizable paintings, like you rename it and it changes, that could be cool.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Java. Like, you can change your painting, technically. Like, you can make... on Comicraft, you had different paintings?
I think so. Yes.
Like, I went to place one, and it was, like, your name or bank's name or something like that.
Yeah, every YouTuber on Comicraft got a custom painting of, like, their logo and stuff, so we could hang them up like posters.
Yeah, except me. I was late to the painting.
Yeah, you were late to the game. Yeah, don't forget, I didn't have a Carl back then to help with everything. It was just me and Bank doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a lot of it was Bank, because he was able to have the time.
Yeah, once we met, everyone from the Ripple Effect, we met a lot of people that could do a lot more things in the game than us.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
A lot faster, too.
Very convenient to have them. Mm-hmm. Next question here we have from Raker. They ask, what's one recipe in Minecraft that you always have to look up how to make? For me, it always seems to be Potion of Invisibility. I know it has to do with a golden carrot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like, I still can't remember. Is it, it's not an awkward potion, is it?
Yeah. I think it's awkward potion, golden carrot, and then your modifiers, whether you want splash or length. So if you want splash, you can do gunpowder. If you want longer, you can do redstone.
That's it?
I think that's it.
But there's more.
No.
What's the one with the glistening melon?
I think that's instant health.
Okay.
I think.
Could be right. Probably right. Yeah, potions. Potions are one thing. And grindstone.
That was mine. You stole mine. Grindstone. Because the stupid texture looks like smooth stone slabs.
Right.
But it really uses stone slabs.
Yeah, even smooth stone full blocks, like, could fit,
Right. Ugh.
It's that texture. It's that look. But yeah, it's just... I think it's even slabs, isn't it?
It is.
Like half slab, just regular stone. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's on the top row, you have wood block, stone slab, wood block, and then below that, it's stick, blank, stick. And I believe that's the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's 4 sticks, but I have to look it up every time.
Yeah, that's why, because we have to look it up.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that because sure enough, on Channel 64, I was trying to make one. I went, what's this stupid recipe again?
Mm-hmm. It's nice having the, automatic crafting, all those recipes in there.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I think, like, if you don't have that item, if you've never seen it or picked it up before, you won't have that recipe.
If you've never been in the water, I don't think you know how to craft a boat. Like, the game won't auto-craft a boat until you touch water.
I didn't know that.
I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Could be right. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know all the recipes. There are things I gotta look up.
And I'll admit that was kind of the fun part early in Minecraft, was learning the recipes.
Mm-hmm. Not knowing how to make things, right.
I'd have a wallpaper on the back of my monitor or I shouldn't say the back of my monitor, a wallpaper on my monitor of common crafting recipes I used.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool. Now, I mean, you have the recipe book, and the recipe book is way better than anything else. But some of that nostalgia of going to the Wikipedia and looking it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember those days.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, some of the listeners are going through that right now.
I hope so. I hope that doesn't show our Minecraft age.
Oh, it still does.
Probably. Yeah, thank you guys for those questions. Those comments came from our Discord. It's the only place where you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Casey's word for it.
Hello there, crafters. Casey Plays here. The Withering Effect Discord is a big part of the show. It's the first place the team look for listener comments, and the only place to vote in Mending Minecraft. If you've been thinking about joining for a while, now is a great time to get involved in our amazing community. Just follow the link in the show notes.
Thank you for the Discord ad, Casey. And speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week, we asked you to choose between one of 3 mobs for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were Pig, Spider Jockey, and Evoker.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Pig.
I definitely thought Spider Jockey was going to win it.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'd guess. Evoker's relatively new.
Yeah, well, no one likes messing with the Evoker.
Yeah, Pig's been around for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
When did it first come out? I had it here. It should be in my notes, really. You know, that should probably be in my notes.
It was early, but not early.
Oh, no, it was early because the creeper was supposed to be a pig.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. You're correct.
It says August 20th, 2009 showed a failed pig model. Moch commented, "It looks creepier than animated when animated. Haha. I'll keep it for a creepy creature." Didn't know that. So, I mean, I knew it was a failed pig, but then 2 days later, the pigs were teased on the World of Notch. So, yeah, came out pretty early, August 22nd, 2009. Man, that doesn't show our age then.
I was still in college.
Mm-hmm. So, a few things else about the pig. Pig is a common passive mob found in most grass biomes. Pigs are a source of pork chops and can be equipped with a saddle to be driven. Pigs spawn in groups of 4 above grass blocks at a light level of 9 or more in any grassy overworld biome, except in snowy plains, meadows, and wooded badlands. Pigs drop 1 to 3 pork chops upon death and yield 1 to 3 experience points. Pigs can be bred using carrots, potatoes, or beetroot. They can also be led with those and a carrot on a stick. While riding with the saddle, you must have a carrot on a stick in hand to control the movements of the pig. When a pig or piglet is struck by lightning, it transforms into a zombified piglin or zombified piglet. And that's all I got for the pig.
One thing that I think everyone can agree on is the muddy pig texture. We all kind of like that from Minecraft Earth. Even though we didn't play Minecraft Earth, I thought the texture was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I want it. Of course, that goes against, like, pig nature. Pigs are actually relatively clean animals. I mean, they're still wild animals, but they do prefer to be clean. So a muddy pig kind of goes against that, but the texture was so good. It stinks that it's gone.
Yeah, I think humans just put them in muddy areas.
Well,
that's what makes them muddy.
It comes from the fact that pigs don't sweat, so they use the mud and stuff to keep cool.
Okay.
So if you have a pig in a warmer climate, it would kind of make sense for them to be covered in mud.
Yeah, and we got mud blocks now.
And we have mud blocks now. Ta-da!
It's like a mud mask women use to...
Yeah, exactly.
You know, get their facial features right. That's what pigs do.
Some other things that I found on pigs that I think is cute and we should have: a mother pig will sing to their babies. So we have like the screaming goat and all that stuff. Now, I think that would be kind of cute to have mama pigs making noises to the...
Singing Rockabye Baby.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, we also have piglins doing a dance after a hunt and stuff. So having something like this would be a cool little expansion to life in the game.
Yeah, pigs seem to be supernatural in this game anyway.
Right? Also, pigs have an excellent sense of direction. So I thought you could use pigs to lead you places. Like, well, and they also have powerful noses. So that's the second thing. So So if you were to feed a pig a carrot, maybe it would lead you to more carrots or potato or something like that. And that could be a way to find villages instead of just stumbling on them.
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, odds are you're going to stumble upon one, but
Right.
it'd be way more fun.
Exactly. That's all I really had. I know a lot of people are going to want the Technoblade renaming texture hidden feature thing and
Easter egg.
yet. We really haven't had a player-based one of those, so I didn't include it. And plus, I feel like you would need to do that for a lot of other ones. We just had TFC pass this past week, so...
Right. Rest in peace, TFC.
Yeah. They would definitely deserve something like that. They were a great addition to the Minecraft community, and it's sad that we've lost them, so...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel it's just better to leave that to devs, because it's going to start to get a little crazy.
Yeah, if you just started... I mean, there'd be Easter eggs all the time by the time it hit
Exactly.
2040, they'd be everywhere.
Exactly.
And once the game gets older, the players get older, and, the life, moves on.
Yep. Not to mention you have major content creators who haven't passed. They've just stopped playing Minecraft. Are you going to do something for those guys too?
Mm-hmm.
Main topic. I'm actually kind of excited about this topic. We all know our thoughts on what we want for 120. I want an inventory update. You wanted a new dimension inside that portal that's in the ancient cities.
Mm-hmm.
If we couldn't have those, what's something else? Because a lot of people are saying the exact same things we are. Inventory update, new dimension, all that stuff.
You hear the end a lot, too. End gets thrown out there.
End update. What's something that people aren't talking about we think could be very good for a 120 update? I'm going to let you go first.
Mine's relatively simple.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of my guess on the last update, and I still think it needs addressed, especially because they told us we were getting these, and that is biome updates.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of bare biomes out there that I feel need some activity. We need more stuff in there. We need more mobs available. The jungle's fine. It's pretty lush.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit the swamp. Just got the taiga. There's 3 biomes on here that were actually in the biome vote that I have in front of me. I added a couple things in there, but most of the stuff they teased at us.
You didn't just straight up overhaul these biomes. You just plussed
the
biomes.
Yeah, I'm just going to add a few things. I would love more animals. That's my first thing, was a mob update. That's the first thing I was going to go with. But I'm afraid the game's performance in loading, 3 times more mobs would suffer a lot. So I didn't want to go there right away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are mobs that I want added, and I'll explain those. But yeah, I didn't want to do too much with the mobs. Of course, I love mobs. But the first biome I have here is the desert. It's a pretty barren place. What I think you can find, there's cactus. There's a couple structures, but what is there? Dead bushes.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty empty. And normally that's what you get in a desert. Now, there's a few things here I would like to add. Doesn't have to be a lot of these things, just a little bit more to it. The first one are cactus variants.
Yes.
And I think this was teased for the Badlands, but the desert could definitely use some cactus variants. Also, in the biome vote, they mentioned palm trees. Now, I think that's more of a beach thing, not so much of a desert thing, so I didn't include that. But palm trees. If you like those, yeah, that could go there. But a few mobs I put are meerkats. That's what they teased to us, are the meerkats.
Mm-hmm.
Also, snakes, 'cause they're in deserts. I know a lot of people don't like snakes.
Nope.
That's fine.
Squish them.
I'm curious how, I guess it wouldn't be too hard to make a cubed block-shaped snake. Kind of curious what that would look like. And camels, because it's a desert, and there would be camels out there.
Me and you, hint, hint, have a couple things in common.
I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are 2 things. Yeah.
Yep.
2 things that pretty neat.
And we didn't look at each other's stuff either while we were doing these.
What's funny is I put down one of my things and I looked over and I seen it on yours. I was like, oh, he's got that on there. So I'll let you explain, what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you have the idea with it. But The last thing I would like to add to the desert is quicksand.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like quicksand should be another element to the desert that could, usually running through the desert, there's no obstacles besides cactus. Okay, that's a pretty big obstacle. Not a big obstacle, but they get in the way, they get annoying. But yeah, what about some quicksand? Maybe it can suffocate you, but as you go down, maybe you can pop through into a cave, something underneath. I thought would be pretty cool.
Well, I mean, you want it to function like powdered snow, but with sand.
You could do that even, yeah. Instead of the freezing effect, it's a suffocating.
Yeah. And I will say, do you remember growing up and learning about quicksand and you're like, why the heck are we not like finding all the quicksand areas in the world and roping them off? Like quicksand's so dangerous as a kid.
Right. They go outside and play and make sure
Yeah.
any sand you come across isn't quicksand.
Well, and see, and I grew up in Florida, and the water level down there, groundwater table, isn't very far underground. So if you dig a decent hole, you'd have water come up.
Mm.
And it's very sandy here. It's not like North Carolina. North Carolina is clay, like red clay.
Oh, okay.
So you don't run into that problem. So I always thought quicksand was a huge thing. And then you get older and you realize it's not relevant. But then I also am now reading that a lot of quicksand pits aren't much deeper than the average person's waist. Now, you can still die to them. I'm not saying you can't. It's just a lot of the times, like if someone who falls in quicksand just kind of calms down, they can pull themselves out of it.
That's what I heard. The more you struggle, the more you sink. My next biome to update is the Badlands. And I know they're really cool. You get the terracotta. There's mine shafts above sea level. Pretty cool. A lot of gold there. But again, it's kind of like the desert, especially if you get a big Badlands. It's pretty empty. I don't think there's many mobs that spawn there unless it's like a Badlands or a meadow. What would you call that?
I have no clue.
There's grass there.
When I enter the Badlands, I want it to go.
Yeah, you get that
Yeah.
western feel.
Yeah, I want that every time I walk into a Badlands.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it. Have like a certain song per biome.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft song. That'd be cool. A few things I have for the Badlands. Honestly, you can take a lot of the desert and, use it for the Badlands, like the snakes, the cactus variants. You can use all that. Even the quicksand. You could throw that red quicksand inside the Badlands.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things on here, though. I think it was tumbleweeds that was teased in the biome vote for Badlands. So if they do up that, tumbleweeds will make it into the game. It's like a square. It kind of looks like the root from the mangrove tree, but rolling along the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We never see an animation or anything, but that's what it looked like. And vultures. Vultures were teased in the biome vote, and I think vultures can be added to the desert as well as the Badlands. Vultures are supposed to, when you die, they're supposed to circle where your items were, where you died, which is a really cool thing. Kind of wish we had that.
We do have that.
What? Oh,
the death compass.
The compass. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The grindstone was the little lizard guy that would suck your armor up and spit it back out, unenchanted all your stuff. Now we have the death compass, which is essentially the vulture.
We still need those. I think we still need those.
Okay.
Another animal I'd like to have there, something that isn't so friendly, is hyenas. When I think of Badlands, I do think of the Western theme. I do think of that. But I also think of Lion King, where they're in the what's that place called with all the bones? Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. It kind of sounds like Badlands. You know what I mean? Where the hyenas roam and there's skeletons everywhere. Skeletons is another thing I'd like to add. I don't know how you could put it in the game, but just like there's bones laying around where you can hit it with a pickaxe and pick up bones. It doesn't have to be a bone block, but just like a bone on the ground, maybe some way of placing it as a block, but not a full block. I don't know. I thought that would be neat. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the hyenas would do, but they wouldn't be friendly. Wouldn't make them friendly. I think that's it for the Badlands. The last one I have here is the Savannah. This was teased in the biome vote also. And the biggest thing they mentioned that I really liked was the baobab trees.
Yes.
They're these huge, I think it's like mainly root. I didn't look into it too much, but it's real thick trees that grew up kind of like what's in the savannah? The tree, the acacia.
Mhm.
Except thicker. It's a real big, thick tree. You could even make it acacia wood. I'd be okay with that. It'd be a lot easier to get acacia wood from these baobab trees
That's true.
than the acacia.
So, like, have a version, because you have the oak tree, then you have the giant oak tree.
Right?
You'd have the acacia tree, then a giant acacia tree.
Yeah, maybe it's got to be like a 3x3, because these things are thick.
Yeah.
Maybe 5x5, like they're big.
Yeah, I'd like that.
They're not so much tall either. They're just, wide.
Mhm.
But also was teased in the savannah were termites, which people didn't give a good response to the termites. Worried about them eating wood on your builds and your builds, going up pretty much like it was going in flames.
Exactly.
That's what I imagine. Now, you avoid the lightning. Now here comes the termites.
Exactly.
But yeah, there was that and ostriches. Ostriches were teased in the savannah also. But yeah, those are 3 big biomes I would like to see updated.
For me, what I would like to see is a transportation update.
Okay.
Now, you had 2 things on your list that I also have on my list.
Mm-hmm.
And it's camels and ostriches, or as you say, ostriches.
Yep.
I think both those things could be cool modes of transport to differentiate the game. Right now, we have llamas in no water that we call camels.
Right.
It'd be a lot cooler if we actually had camels.
Maybe camels they ran faster on sand.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And ostriches
They're fast anyways.
Yeah, they're just fast.
The other thing is, you're really not supposed to be riding ostriches in real life, guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're not made for that. You can. There are some people can, but...
Just because Ace Ventura did it doesn't mean it's normal.
Yes. But that's one of the things I thought was cool, having animal transport again. Something other than horses and donkeys and stuff. I don't count llamas as transport. To me, it's basically a minecart chest without needing rails.
It's transporting items.
Right.
Not people.
You can't steer them, you can't ride on them, you can only pull them along. But talking about minecarts, having 2-player minecarts, kind of like we have boats, and the ability to link minecarts, honestly, I'd be fine with you're only able to link 3 minecarts. So you could have the furnace minecart, your 2-person minecart in the middle, and then a minecart chest, because even though that's a single chest with shulker box, that's 27 shulker boxes inside this thing, and it could make moving stuff pretty easily, or pretty easy.
It's like a train.
Yeah. I had thought trains, but you already have the minecart mode transportation established, so just improve that. One thing you won't see on my list is I'm not going to have any air travel. The Elytra has dominated air travel. I don't see a way of doing air travel better than an Elytra. And honestly, I think if you did come up with a way to do air travel better than Elytra, then you're just killing even more modes of transportation than we have now.
No, it's dragons. Red dragon.
Nope, I'm off the Red Dragon train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are cool, but they don't fit into Minecraft.
Because they're too big.
they're not physically too big.
Oh, okay.
I've just grown out of my Red Dragons phase. And honestly, lately, when I need to go somewhere in no water, I don't fly.
Me neither.
I walk the pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much fun to walk the pass.
Yeah.
Water travel, though, I want sailboats. I'd like a bigger way to travel there. And I don't mean 2-player boat that has a sail on it. I mean, I want 5 to 10-player boats that can move with the sailboats. Maybe you have to cooperatively, there you go, work together to control it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that would be very cool.
Yeah.
And you can't break it. My dog is just going nuts right now. Yeah, you can't break it once you built it.
Even like different boats. I mean, maybe there's a canoe. Maybe there's a sailboat.
Yeah.
Maybe a kayak. I don't know. Maybe a kayak. It doesn't get affected by the bubbles.
Yeah.
The magma cubes under. Maybe there's stuff like that. Just different kind of boats. Because we have one boat. Different colors, but
yeah, it's one boat.
One type of boat, and it's not very appealing.
No. Yeah, but I think that's going to do it for today's show. Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Arrington, Omni, Bobo Plays Games, Croc, Fragile Rock, Casey Plays Games, Loki, and Viper's Tuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewithering effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow us so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links will be in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear throughout the show was created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. Probably go drink your milk now. Bye!
See you guys. I always wanted to use more that was available, and I dropped something.
I heard you.
All right, I picked it up.